Welcome to Inland Empire Alive, bringing you issues, events, and perspectives from throughout San Bernardino and Riverside counties. I'm David Brady, and on today's program, I'll welcome PGA pro Dave Stockton to talk about his long career and his efforts to develop the future golf stars of tomorrow. That's today on Inland Empire Alive. Well, it is my great privilege to welcome my next guest, a local legend, retired PGA golf pro, now turned instructor, Dave Stockton. Mr. Stockton, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Barry. Good to be with you.
Now, I understand that you were born right here in San Bernardino, not far from where we're taking today. What was that like growing up here all those decades ago?
Well, as a kid, it was paradise, but you're out in the country, basically. I mean, I had the Wash to the east, and of course, I had Arrowhead Country Club to play on. Our house was right below it. Dad was at that time, had retired and was in the sporting goods business, but he was the second pro at Arrowhead Country Club. And I remember my childhood was a lot of hunting and a lot of fishing. Golf was like playing tiddlywinks or something. And so I played baseball and basketball and any other sport beside golf. And so I didn't seriously learn until I was in my teens. And it was just a phenomenal place. I mean, Redlands was a long drive to go. We had a lot of relatives in Redlands at the time, and some in Highland. But it was like an adventure, though just that far. And so, because of how things have changed, the world shrunk and everything else. But San Bernardino was a very neat spot to be from.
Well, you played golf at Pacific High School. You went on to play golf at USC. You went pro in 1964. At what point did you have a sense that you would make a career out of it?
When I was at SC, I broke my back when I was 15.
Ooh.
And I realized I had a vertical jump of about an inch, so basketball wasn't in my future. And I wasn't athletic enough to be a really good baseball player. And here I've got my dad, who's one of the best instructors around. And started at the end of my when I turned 16 in November that year. I started working hard because I knew I wasn't going to get an off scholarship or a scholarship unless I took up this game seriously. And when I was 17, my dad knew I worked construction the time I was 14 on. He had some lumber company on Waterman. And all the rest of the kids played golf. I would beat them in May, but by the time they played all summer and I worked all summer, it didn't work out too well. But prior to going to high school, I was able to play 3 tournaments, the most I ever played in one summer. But one of them was National Hirsch, was Riviera, and I had over 100 kids trying for 32 spots to play match play. The winner and the runner-up would get to go to New York to play for the championship. And I made a 10 on the first hole at Riviera. It shot 75 and qualified. And I beat every other person in match play by the time I got to 15. Went to New York, shot 80 in the first round. And I was 25th out of 26 guys playing. And 3 days later, I finished second. So I just didn't know what I was doing yet. But because I had such a good teacher, and because of having a bad back, I was shorter than everybody else as far as distance, which I lost a lot of distance. And I proceeded to get better and better at USC. My dad and I were the first All-Americans at SC in the same sport. We both won the individual titles in golf. And by my junior year, I decided that, I thought I might want to try playing this game of golf as a pro.
Was your family supportive of that? Did they want you to sort of have a backup plan?
No, my dad never pushed me. It was kind of ridiculous. I thought it was kind of ridiculous because I would go into SC. I didn't like being in LA necessarily. I'd come home on the weekend, which is marvelous, so that close to the campus, and work with Dad on the weekends on my game. And being an only child, I had a lot of time for myself to work on it and get there. They didn't push me at all. In fact, when I was eight units shy of graduating, my parents weren't going to let me go on tour unless I got a degree. So I got a degree in general management and finance. In the meantime, I met the special lady, Kathy, who we've now been married well over 60 years. And she was the beauty queen. I met her because my parents met her. She was Miss Redlands, Miss National Orange, shared that, and then made it California. And we've had a hell of a life. We've done a lot of traveling together. Everything I won, we win together as a team. And it could be a very tough life out there on tour. Yeah.
Well, I want to give people just a little sketch of some of your stats. 11-time winner on the PGA Tour, 14-time winner on the Champions Tour, Ryder Cup captain. I wanted to ask, after you started seeing success, did people ever ask why you stayed in the Inland Empire? Why not move to Florida and live on the lake?
I wouldn't go to Florida in a million years. I don't.
Or you don't see that kind of loyalty to your sort of hometown community. I wondered if it was.
No, I mean, I go to Florida. One of the first times I went back there for a business meeting from PGA, it was in December. I just didn't think Christmas lights looked good on palm trees. I mean, I enjoy our mountains. I enjoy the ocean. And California is a wonderful place. It's all changed now from what it was before, but I enjoyed the hunting and the fishing and whatever. I never considered moving. I would now probably, but we're too old to be changed. So I'll stick it out, but hopefully we can turn it around.
And I know that's where you raised your boys, and so we'll hear more about that after a few messages, right after this with Dave Stockton.
Another teenager, victim to fake pills. That smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be this easy?
Yeah, bro, I'm picking up. Same guy? I bet. Got you 5.
Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that fake prescription pills may contain fentanyl? And an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real.
Well, I'm talking with PGA Golf pro Dave Stockton, who since 2009 has enjoyed a new business venture, Stockton Golf, the world of golf instruction. So I wanted to ask, from your vantage point as, you know, a former tour pro who's now moved into instruction, is the game played differently these days? Is there a difference in either mind or muscle?
It's totally different. Well, I alluded to at the start of this interview that basically, you know, I did everything I could to keep from playing golf. You know, I played all the other sports that to me were a lot more fun. But now we're getting, you know, all golfer used to be short.
Okay.
In fact, I was shocked the first year when I won my first major in '70, and Jack Nicklaus and Philly Casper and Tony Jacklin were the other 3. And it shocked me that I was the tallest taller than those other 3 guys at 5'11 and a half. And golf was short. Now we have the Phil Mickelsons of the world, or Ernie Els, or Scotty Scheffler now, or Tiger Woods. I mean, we're getting athletes that could play any sport they wanted to and have the ability. So now we have better athletes. I mean, now I laugh. The caddies are in better shape than we were when we played. We weren't serious hitting the gym type athletes when I was in the 60s and 70s for sure. The agronomy's better. The equipment is miles better than what it used to be. So it's been, it was fun in the old days. You had to work to move the ball around. Now the ball just wants to take off. I mean, I thought stainless steel, the heads going persimmon wood, I thought they would outlaw, because I know good and well they'll never have an aluminum baseball bat or they'll kill a pitcher, because the ball comes flying off it so much harder than persimmon. But they're legal, and it's made more fun. It's brought more people into the game. The best part about golf is the people you meet and places you get to go. And I think someone that's a good golfer that understands what's going on, you have to be mentally prepared for because it's a tough game. You think you're going to go out there and play perfect every day, you're in for a shock.
Well, I should mention that you work with your 2 boys in this venture, Dave Jr. and Ron. Are there differences in your play style, or did it all flow from your father, this sort of Stockton method?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. My dad, My dad died in 83. He was my only instructor. Ronnie was 13 at the time. At the time he was 15, he became my instructor. He has probably got the best sling by far in the family, and he's got obviously the most intelligent look of how you teach people. As far as teaching people, we have no method. In fact, you show me a golf professional that teaches a method, I'll make you really good, and the person standing beside you will be terrible. Because everybody's different, and it takes a lot of time and effort to tell you, you need to do this. And my dad, when he gave a clinic for 5 or 6 people, and I was 6 or 7 years old watching it, he would automatically say, don't listen to what I tell somebody else, because it's not going to pertain to you. So when you specialize and help people, and that's what we've done with Stop and Golf, is that we call our approach the signature approach. And what that in charge, we ask people to sign their name like they're doing an autograph. It takes about 4 seconds maybe. Guys are a little sloppy, we'll do it faster than girls, but right below you see your own signature and you try to duplicate it, take 20 seconds and make it perfect, you got no chance. So first thing we keep, don't try. Have fun. But because your first signature, we want you to play like you sign your first signature. But golfers don't do that. And the bizarre thing is if a golfer and if somebody liked to play golf and shoot pool, the guy shooting pool is never going to let the cue stick stop. That's going to put it behind the ball. It's going to continually in motion, which is the way I was taught. The average golfer takes practice swings, and I know I'm not going to ask them why they do it, because they do it because they want to get the feel. All right? Well, they should know the feel and just let it go. But no, they stick the putter behind the ball and don't move it, and by the time they think about things for 5 to 10 seconds, they got no chance to make this putt. It's total same guy in your book for score.
Unconscious puttering.
That's right, exactly. And that's it becomes unconscious scoring, and golf is mental. It's probably the toughest sport I've ever seen, and that's why you see little guys compete with great big guys, long hitter, versus myself. One claim to fame is I was the shortest on tour one year, 243, and hell, these kids can hit 6 irons that far now. I mean, it's just dramatically different, but you still got to get the ball in the hole.
Well, I want to make sure we let people know where they can reach you. It is StocktonGolf.com. The telephone number is 909-266-1352. You can learn from Dade. You can learn from Dade Jr. You can learn from Ron. Thank you so much for being on the program. All the best to you for continued success, and congratulations to you and Kathy for 60 wonderful years.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Nice being with you.
All right.
Visit IEAlive.com.